When you hear the rhythm, start to move.
This is the first thing I've done in a studio in a long time. Like, I haven't been in a studio since I was probably 18, and I'm 29 next week. Now having the money and everything else to get in a proper studio and make this happen is reintroducing me to all of these processes, and with someone who's got a much more involved stake in it, as Al does, than the last time I was in a studio. It makes for a really interesting and new way of tackling all of these ideas. It's not cheap to be in this place. I definitely came into this with a lot of anxiety of, are we going to get everything done? Is this what I want to put my money towards? And it's like, yeah, the reason I save up is to do shit like this, is to go on holidays I like, and this is exactly the type of shit I want to be doing with the money that I've earned.
For a sec, just focus, just get off the toms for a minute. Just all I'm dialing out now is like the kick snare, hats and crashes to get this really solid entity thing. It'll save your energy as well.
We got here about 9:15, drove in, yet another icy, snowy morning, which is some sort of omen. We've just been setting up and kind of figuring out drums for 3 hours now. But it's the thing of, it's the most moving parts, the most intricate, and it's going to take the most time.
We did a fair bit of tuning drums, which is always a part that I overlook as taking time. I was very, let's make these the notes of the song because it may as well all gel together. Almost immediately when it came into recording the actual takes, which is the only way I've ever played the song, Al was like, okay, what if we change this entirely? Not always as easy as just play it this way. Sometimes it takes a fair bit of thought and even practice, and obviously with the cost of being in the studio, you don't really have time to go, right, give me 2 hours to practice this. So there's a bit of fear there. Are we gonna waste a lot of time and money on this?
The original drum part, which is great, it does what I would call follows the riff. What I'm proposing that we do is turn that into an actual core groove that sits below that.
I'm not against it, but I don't think it should be everyone. I think maybe if that was we changed to that. I'm holding on to the part that I know. I'm holding on to, no, it goes like this. I know how it sounds, and this sounds wrong. But kind of through communicating of like, okay, we need to hit these accents because that's where the bass accent, and that balance has made for a better sounding thing, and it's coming together really nicely. But I really had to kill that idea of like, no, I'm not the only person with my hand on the wheel at this point. Al's got his hand on the wheel, Al is a pro, I trust him.
We're all quite trusting in each other to make these decisions.
Are you ready? Ready. So your new track will always come out on the right hand side.
We're in the middle of all the rhythm guitar essentially, so doing layers and layers of going between different amplifiers and different guitars, kind of trying to find the right combination.
It bothers me is because I feel like when you're coming in, you need to attack your way in on that downbeat. Okay.
We've ended up on a combo that sounds really nice. It kind of pulls from a lot of different influences. It's not quite as muddy, I think, as we had originally expected. Not quite as kind of grungy and dirty, but it's a lot heavier and a lot meatier. And I think it really lends to the song.
We got 2 in for you.
Is it a downslide on the recording?
It is, yeah. So it's on the record, on the demo, it's F sharp, and then a slide down from 9. So it's down. Yeah.
Start to move.
James came in and absolutely smashed the bass. He's thoroughly reliable, as is everyone in the band, to be able to just come in and absolutely nail it. And he had this already on lock from having played it and practiced it. and we just found the right bass tone for him, and he laid it out. I think he got it within half an hour, maybe a little bit more.
That's fucking really good.
Oh,
Really, really good.
look at this bastard.
See, that to me is more, that sound sounds cooler and more like ear grabbing than the lower thing, which just to me sounds a bit indistinct because it's right in the middle of the chord.
Camille has done some parts on the Strat, done some parts on the Gibson that I have, and he's just going through part by part, nailing it really, really well.
After the let it ring or let it ring.
The song came from the riff, really, like the riff that you hear at the start, and kind of halfway through I was just playing about with these kind of discordant chords. Lyrically, it almost sounds like a cry for help. You know, it's give me a sign, give me some hope, give me a lifeline, give me a rope. Part of me thinks it's nonsense. You know, I know I've written a lot of my songs about nothing in particular, but this, I often find what the song is about after I've written the lyrics, weirdly. And then I go, oh, I've let a lot of shit out in these words. I think it's essentially I was floundering a bit after a large breakup, and this was, I think, a product of that kind of grasping at straws, at that kind of like looking for something to, you know, re-find my identity. I think that that's what this song is about.
Gimme! Gimme! Gimme!
That's so good.
That's so talented.
It sounds really amazing. I'm really happy with how the vocals have turned out. I think taking the kind of shouted, screamier vocals from the end of each chorus, and we decided actually the ones in the demo still work for what they are, but with some more processing on them. I think it sounds really, really great for what we did, and great for what we're trying to achieve.